Summertime.
Nice pair of Tom's.
Summertime. Right.
It's my mum's birthday on Wednesday, by the way. If you're interested in pushing her and telling her to fuck off like you did.
I think you told her that.
You told this man to fuck off on her birthday.
No, not on her birthday, but I don't think the point still stands.
You told us to fuck off. I can't remember why. Oh, because
she beat me in an argument.
she mugged him off.
And we were pissed.
And I said she's done you there, and then he was like, we're fucked off.
And I blamed him.
And then that's what it was.
Here we go, folks. Welcome back, folks, once again to the Collapsing Pocket podcast, brought to you by Royal Flush Designs. My name is Rob Ward. You can always call me Wardy. And after this scorching hot bank holiday weekend, it's going to get even hotter inside this studio.
Yeah, can't we do it outside? I know the mic's probably not up to it.
And we're not allowed to open the pub office window, are we? No. So this is sort of like torture, really.
It's a bank holiday. If this was school, there's no way. Lessons inside.
Ties would be off one day. Ties would be off.
Yeah. Labour would love this, boys.
That's it, folks. So my name is Woody. We are here on the Collapsing Pocket podcast Bank Holiday Special. And on this hot bank holiday, I'm sure some of you will be having barbecues. I've been preparing my very own Collapsing Pocket barbecue, and I am going down to Sainsbury's and picking out some prime steaks to throw on top of that barbecue in the form of Simon Carroll. So packed is his brain with NFL knowledge. I'm also going to nip down to Lidl and pick up a little bit of pork belly to throw on that barbecue too. Sam Aykroyd, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Rob.
I thought that one on the way down here.
Right.
I wonder where it was going. It was like, are you actually having a barbecue? Because I've not been invited.
Yeah, there you go. Right, I've earned my sort of fee for the episode, haven't I, with that? Right, well, folks, what we're going to do today, we are going to look at the AFC. We're going to repeat the sort of challenge of last week, was it, Si? Went out?
Yeah, one big question. It went out on Tuesday, didn't it?
Yeah.
Our course was in lovely South Wales, turning in Cardiff. Yeah. Very nice. So it was. We're going to be asking one big question arising from free agency and the draft, or not in Sam's case. Heading.
Question.
I don't think we really specified the draft, but the one big question tends to arise out of the state of the roster.
The state of the roster is kind of how we were framing it, wasn't it?
Address the issue hanging over their heads.
Yeah.
The elephant in the room.
That's it. Well, the reason I thought we should frame it like this is because
August, September,
when it comes to like July and August, we'll just repeat the exercise, won't we? Asking one big question, but I thought this time we can at least claim it's framed by the draft and the free agency.
We'll do one big question then, and then also predict how well each side's going to do.
Yeah.
Based on the answers to those questions.
Yeah, we'll do loads of stuff.
We got loads of lines up.
Quarterback rankings like last time. See if Sam's have changed.
All going on, and we are at some point going to go inside the pocket, aren't we, Sam?
I believe so.
So Sam's going to learn loads over those podcasts. More on that to come, folks. But we're going to start with a bit of news. Go on, Sam. You're our political correspondent.
NFL summer.
Sam, who, by the way, folks, you may remember last week said, "There's no news. It's all shit. Skip forward to September." And here we are, Sam. Only a huge piece of news with enormous social ramifications in the States. Take it away.
And just another example of the just how incompetent by which the NFL seems to have gone, but the owners have had a meeting, or informal meeting by some accounts, in which they decided, drafted a new rule to the in regards to player protest at the anthems, which has been something that they felt had been hanging over their head, and are now issuing guidance to teams that any player who doesn't kneel or show respect to the flag will be subject to.
I'm not quite sure how you define showing respect to the flag.
That's key wording in
that. Yeah.
Keep it vague.
Their players can be fined. The franchise can be fined. If players are some sort of apparent stop to players in all this, they can just stay in the locker room. They won't be forced to take the field during the anthem as they are now. So the protocol won't be that, at least.
Yeah. So the protest becomes an invisible protest.
Yes, and an issue that was becoming less of an issue, really, apart from a few.
Remaining stragglers.
Well, no, not the people still. Apart from a few people who constantly wanted it to be an issue, and without naming too many names, Vice President Pence and President Trump will be two people who are very keen to keep this issue as a sort of a key talking point in America.
So approach the midterms.
Yeah, have well, all through this having this third one, and the enders have just collapsed in the heat of it.
Kowtowed. Where's this going, Si?
I think you started. I don't know. It seemed like it was a bit of a weird time for them to do it because it was almost disappearing a little bit, wasn't it? People seem to have forgotten it a little bit. It wasn't even on the horizon in terms of what's people going to do in pre-season and stuff like that. It was just kind of like almost it's happened, it's over kind of thing. We're all forgetting about it, but they just drag it back into the public eye. And now all you're going to have is people wondering who's not on the field rather than who's kneeling. The same principle applies. There's idiots in America who think that people were kneeling because they hated the flag and the anthem in the country. We're still going to think people aren't going out in the field and still hating the flag and the anthem in the country.
It's saying like the staggering incompetency of it all is that there's now beyond the possible legality or otherwise of it, which the players' union are certainly looking at.
That's the biggest disgrace of it all. Is the players weren't even consulted in the whole thing.
Players haven't been consulted on it, but beyond that, you've now got rather than having people who thought the protesting was fine and the people who said, actually, I just want to respect the flag or the anthem or whatever, and I want to do it in the personal choice that you can make on their own terms. You've now got a third one of people who are like, well, I didn't agree with the protest, so I don't like the fact that they're here, but I certainly don't like the fact that they're having this pretty draconian, borderline fascist sort of stamping down on their right to protest thing. And then you just creates another issue within the many issues already.
There's a blatant political hypocrisy at place here, isn't there? Because I mean, go back to, was it the events last August? Was it Charlotte, the town where we had the big protests, and on one side you had practically the KKK there. They were burning pitchforks and they were shouting all kinds of hate-filled speech around. And Trump at the time comes down, doesn't he? And he says, well, both sides, they should be allowed to protest, but not clamping down on anything like that, but something like this. Apparently, you've got to stay in the locker room. It stinks of hypocrisy.
So it's a testament to the character of the man, isn't it? And the lack thereof, really.
And the unbelievable power that they have over the NFL. It's a little bit scary, really, isn't it? But that said, the backlash has started, and it started instantly. It started in New York, didn't it? The Jets
CEO
owner,
Chris Johnson, joint owner.
Am I right in thinking instantly his brother is Trump's ambassador to the UK? Woody Johnson.
Woody, so he's just acting owner, he's CEO and acting owner for them.
And he just came out and said that I'll pay for any player's fines in relation to protesting on the field, which I think is a great start. Jed York came out as well. He was the only one who signed off. It feels like nobody was consulted. It feels like
there's two people. I think the New York fella.
Johnson as well. Did you abstain as well?
I believe.
Well, Jed York abstained. He said that there was no input from the players, which was very important because. To be fair to Goodell, I do think he wants to get the focus back on football and not on the anthem at the game. I think this is a bad idea, but I think it's born out of good intentions to some extent for him. He wanted people to be appreciative of what the players do in the community and that they've talked to each other about it, but not to address the players. It feels like they've just got a WhatsApp group gone, what do you think of this idea? And 30 others gone, yeah, and 2 others gone, hang on, and said, shut up. Yeah, it's in, it's done, job done. It's a bit silly.
As I understand it, the meeting wasn't even a formal vote, it was just a show of hands.
Right.
Passed it, and it's changed the, what do they call it, the Games Operation Manual, so it isn't subject to collective bargaining, apparently, on that terms.
Really? Well, that's important, because the CBA is going to be renegotiated in 2020, and I can't see DeMaurice Smith and the rest of the NFLPA being very happy about this, and it's just going to be another span of the way to renegotiate the deal.
Yeah, what's the rest of the game, which I'm beginning to be vaguely expert on US label law, apparently. There's been a recent court case through the Supreme Court about, which makes this seem very illegal in the way the actions that the players will be taking in the workplace, they should just be allowed to do it constitutionally. And so, the NFL, like I say, Goodell just seems to have blundered into this quite. It's just very short-sighted thinking all around. If they're desperate to fix this
He's
problem.
trying to
which I
put a
don't
pin in
think is
it,
problem.
and I think he's just opened Pandora's box once
There
again.
we go. Yeah, and it's sure to run and run, and I'm sure it's one with the last we speak about it on this podcast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it could go on for hours to get quite riled about it, but
well, we did say that.
We have
didn't
things to do.
We were planning a sort of a protest podcast, ripping into it for about an hour, and then Sam, as
We're
Sam
going to
rightly,
kneel all the way through.
kneel all the way through the
for our
podcast. And then as Sam rightly pointed out, wouldn't it just be us all ranting off the same hymn sheet for about, probably not the most interesting listen. But there we go, folks. And one other bit of news before we get into our one big question feature this week, and it concerns Size Boys once again.
Oh yeah.
They're in the news every off-season, Sam. They can't keep their players on the field.
well, what are they doing at the training camp?
What's going on
What's
in
the matter with
off-season
It's
training?
like Graham
Hunter
Souness back in the
Henry.
day when he was Newcastle manager, and the training ground was had a hoodoo on it, and he moved them all to train on the football field because he was just so sure that his team was crap because of the injuries, and he wasn't. It's just sort of crap.
Yeah, Hunter Henry has gone down, torn his ACL, done for the season.
Right, it's gutting for the Chargers because they've moved on from Gates, obviously, which is probably the right time whether or not you have Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
But Hunter Henry was turned into one of the best all-round tight ends in the NFL. A few people have come over Twitter or the podcast, things like that, have mentioned the stark difference in record and production when Hunter Henry's on the field and when he's off it. He's a huge facet in the running game. It is a big blow for the Chargers. I mean, there's one silver lining. They've got Virgil Green. They got in free agency. He's supposed to be the next Hunter Henry, really. But
The guy who's been ineffective at Denver for the last
yeah,
couple
he's
of years.
supposed to be just being ignored a little bit. So he's a blocking tight end predominantly, which will help in the run game.
Right, yeah.
And obviously you've got people like Matt Williams, who's quite a big body receiver, who may be able to work outside the slot a little bit more and be that kind of wide tight end kind of guy. But I think the Chargers have got enough pieces around to get around it, but it's just another typical blow to the Chargers in pre-season.
Is this team cursed, Sam? Cursed every single off-season, isn't it?
Well, is it just since they moved to LA, is it?
Fairness, it was going on in
Curse,
San Diego as well,
a long,
wasn't
long
it?
time.
Yeah.
It's not one of these famous sports curses where they move the team and that's it for a generation or two.
Sadly not, you'd love that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it would be reversing fortunes. It'd be good for the Chargers, to put it that way.
It's put a spanner in your fantasy works, hasn't it?
It has put. Oh, I'll tell you what, Hunter Henry, he was proving to be a key little cog lower down the draft order.
Kobe Fleener should be available to you.
Should be. And no chance, Si, of them giving a quick phone call to Mr. Gates and saying, come and give us one last thing. Give it a few snaps every game. Get in the
I don't
red
think
zone.
so. I think they're more likely to go for someone like Fleener, who's on the open market, who's
Jimmy Graham,
got
wasn't
some
it?
legs. No,
Jimmy Graham was in Green Bay, isn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
With Blackwood, too. I knew he was available. I couldn't remember where he went. Obviously, not captain. Anyway,
No,
sorry.
he's out of there. But anyway, we'll see what happens there with, of course, Si's beloved LA Chargers. And the LA Chargers do feature, of course, in this week's feature. It is one big question arising from the draft and the free agency ahead of all 16 teams ahead of this season. Where are we going to start, lads? We are going to start in the AFC North, and we are going to start with the Cleveland Browns. And I believe, Si, you're going to open up on this one.
I've got the Browns, yeah. Well, I suppose we'll start. It's quite a blockbuster question. This is a 4-layer question.
There we go. Get ready. You ready, Sam?
Mess around. We're all excited by the Browns, I suppose.
Yes.
Just like we happened in the last couple of years, as Sam likes to say.
How many green
sheets?
shoots now?
I don't know, but they're pretty green.
There.
Yeah. You know, the latest off-season moves turn up the expectation level again, not just in here, but certainly in Cleveland as well.
Yeah.
Plenty of meat on the bone here. We could ask a few questions, but I think I'll stick with the offense because that's the exciting part, isn't it? Feisty O-line, top 10 offensive line in the league, I'd say.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Njoku, Landry, Josh Gordon, Corey Coleman,
Depending,
Callaway.
of course, Si, on Joe Thomas, whether they can replace him.
Of course, yeah. But if you've got 4 out of 5 good pieces, you're still looking good, aren't
Still got a
you?
decent O-line.
They're loaded in offense, aren't they? And they've got a triple threat running game as well with Chubb Hyde and Duke Johnson as well in the backfield. There's not much. You can't really point your finger anywhere in that offense and say, where's the weakness? Does Tyrod Taylor have enough around him to hold up Baker Mayfield for an entire season?
No.
If not, how many games? And is there an instant step up in production if Baker comes in for Tyrod?
I think what's interesting is that they're both John Dorsey's picks.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's not a case of Dorsey's come in since Tyrod's been there and Dorsey's quite heavily in
Tyrod's
favour
not
of
got a
Baker
short leash,
Mayfield.
really, has he?
Yeah. Dorsey quite evidently has gone down the route of, okay, even if he just sees Tyrod as a transitional quarterback, he very much has targeted him and said, this is a guy I want to give some game time to. And we know what Tyrod Taylor has done in Buffalo, did take him to the playoffs last season. He's never performed exceptionally. You wouldn't call him a top 10
He's got a ceiling.
quarterback.
He's got a ceiling, but yeah, he's also quite safe as well as a quarterback.
And I just think a team like Cleveland, anything, even just stability at that position, has been much sought after. You know, over the past decade plus.
Do you think the season for Tyrod?
I wouldn't be surprised. I think if he performs okay, if he's doing just fine, I wouldn't be surprised if he lasts 16 games.
6 weeks, 6 games tops.
But, I mean,
So polar opposites.
yeah, I mean, it would all depend as well on how this head office is going to react to, you know, the media storm that will probably hit. Should Tyrod struggle a bit? Should the team?
Well, this is it.
Should there be a clown before Baker?
Yeah,
Mayfield?
like 2 straight defeats would probably do for him straight
Yeah,
away.
I don't think it'll do for him straight away. I mean, I think,
Maybe even without, obviously I won't be seeing what happens with it, but the pre-season games, Baker impresses massively in that. I think he might start the
it'll
first.
be like a Russell Wilson situation.
It could be.
Yeah,
I mean, it could well be.
I
Yeah.
like the idea. Like the plan to me seems sound, but ultimately this is the Cleveland Browns, and I can see
Yeah,
I can
true.
see Hugh being fired mid-season because I don't think he's Dorsey's guy. Despite what Dorsey said about him, you know, I could see him being fired. I could see the new guy coming in wanting to go with Baker. I could see you get to week 12, Baker Mayfield might be in there. I mean, if everything goes right, obviously they want Tyrod in all year, but if Baker could be by week 12, might even engineer 4 wins at the end of the season and give everybody some more hope for the next year, you know. And on the roundabout we go again with the Browns, if you know what I mean.
Well, that's it. But so no thoughts of going, you know, protect the guy for the season. You think actually,
I think Tyrod definitely starts the season.
you're not so convinced.
I'm not convinced he will. It will depend slightly on the pre-season, how much confidence they do have in Mayfield's ability to step up to the NFL. But they must all be pretty confident to put your first round pick on him.
Well, that's it.
But yeah, I think there's just that pressure to have that potential, because Tyrod Taylor isn't a potential superstar,
No.
but Baker Mayfield is.
Nice.
I think you get that pressure from outside.
Yeah, the shiny things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
What's
Okay, the Cincinnati Bengals. I've got this one. Okay, the Bengals. Do the additions of Cody Glenn and Billy Price restore the Bengals' offensive line to that dominant force that it was back in 2015, as recently as that, when Andy Dodson, as we know, was playing at an MVP level?
Good question. I always wondered just why back in 2015 that offensive line was so good. I mean, we know they had Andrew Whitworth.
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best offensive linemen in the game, even at his age.
Well, we saw the improvement he made to the Rams, haven't we?
But outside of that, it wasn't. I don't know. I think it's an excellent pick up, Cody Glenn. I think the Bengals did quite well getting him and still keeping their first round draft pick because they did basically they allowed Buffalo to move up, didn't they?
Yeah.
He switched picks rather than lost a pick, which was pretty good.
That's clever. Yeah.
Hard question that. I just don't have any faith in the Red Rifle really. I don't think it's his offensive line. I mean, he's got plenty of pieces around him now. He's got a running game. He's got.
What was it that year?
weapons.
What was it that year? Was it just he got lucky, got into a good groove? He had obviously Hugh Jackson was his play colour back then, wasn't he?
Yeah, he has moments like even was the final game last season where he tore up the Ravens and stopped getting into the playoffs.
Yeah, he can turn it on, can't he? But
yeah, he's just so he's a bit like Loris Karius, isn't he? He's just so prone to making
there we go.
awful mistakes that you just can't trust the guy. It's certainly his and Marvin Lewis's last go at it, isn't it? Now they've had a bit of a downtime. They're still in the building. Things are looking up again a little bit for the Bengals. I wouldn't be surprised to make playoffs. I wouldn't be surprised for 6-10.
They're just a bit stale, aren't they? That's how the whole
I can't get excited about the Bengals.
feels.
So
No.
just in any degree.
And I would say, sorry, Bengals fans listening, but I'd be very surprised if there were any Bengals fans listening.
Well, they're not going to be excited about next year either.
Excellent. Well, there we go. Doom and gloom. You sound just like a raven there, Sam. Why don't you tell us a bit more about those birds from Baltimore?
That's a terrible segue. Well, my question for the Ravens is: are we going to see some new Ravens? Like,
Go on.
well, you got just get Lamar Jackson under centre, sack off Sacco,
Sacco Flacco.
and just get a bit of joy in Baltimore for anything else. You know, it's just you've got. There's a few other picks in that team where they've always been a defensive team for a decade. They really are.
Sure.
More not a generation.
Since the
2 decades really.
Yeah.
Since they won the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, you can argue since they've been the Ravens, they've just been a defensive,
defensive
unit
team,
outfit.
big.
Yeah.
big sort of bully boys in a way. And but now, especially with Lamar Jackson and a few other picks in that draft, I think they could suddenly be an exciting, fun team to watch every week in, week out. Just a little note on that with Lamar Jackson, he's not going to get started straight away, is he? Because there's already question marks on his abilities.
How ready he is.
How ready he is for NFL.
Sure.
But the assistant coach at Baltimore, Greg Roman, worked with Kaepernick. San Francisco quarterback coach James Urban, whereas with Michael Vick, who
he's definitely thinking about
they're
this.
wanting to get him in, aren't they?
Can I just say as well, someone's been doing some research.
Well,
I'm impressed.
That's about the extent
I'm
of it for
impressed.
5 questions, but yeah.
Yeah, wait till you do the 4 questions.
It's just going to be hard, because you imagine then the coach again, they want to use him, don't they, Matt? How patient are they going to be a bit with Baker Mayfield?
Well, I was thinking as you were asking that.
But without, not quite the same pressure that that Zip 16 season.
No, they won 9 games last year.
They did,
Baltimore.
and they were only lost, as you said, Si, with the Andy Dalton Bengals performance for Marvin Lewis.
So yeah, they don't have the same pressure that the Browns do with Mayfield, and with him being there.
So what's the question?
Are we going to see a new Ravens?
It's a new Ravens.
Is it a new dawn, basically?
Yeah, it's a new, basically. Yeah,
3 new wide receivers. Willie Snead, your mate. Michael Crabtree obviously going there.
Yeah.
Who else? Who was the third?
John Brown.
John Brown, of course. Yeah.
Are they going to unleash all this attacking talent for a change, or is it going to be
I still don't
another
think
fairly low-key?
They still not got like
successful season.
a reliable running game. They've still.
Do you not think Alex Collins showed last season?
I think he flashed like numerous Seahawks running backs flash and then don't really do it on a consistent basis. You know what I mean?
I disagree a bit on that. I think he could be a potential.
He's a late round.
Alex Collins. I quite like what I saw last season, and I felt he kept it going. Actually, I felt that the problem is they kept on to sort of.
Yeah,
they've got a few there with Buck Allen. They chuck in, and they
no
play around at the
really.
backfield.
And I still think the wide receiving unit, Crabtree was a great pickup, and they were right to have been off that wide receiver, and they failed the medical. I can't remember his name. The guy.
Oh God, who was it? Grant.
Yeah,
Grant.
Yeah. I think that's the best move they've done. But I still don't think it's a great offense, really. And I think Flacco's probably used to playing in it, but also Lamar Jackson's one of those quarterbacks you can transcend bad pieces around him just by a bit like Russell Wilson, if you know what I mean, because he's got other facets to his game, hasn't he?
We're more likely to see him or Baker Mayfield.
I think we'll see. I think we'll see Jackson with some scripted kind of like plays, you know, and he'll come in for one snap and things like that. So I think you might see the start of this new dawn. But I think you might see when you get it fully
so
unleashed.
5 a.m. rather than sort of 8 a.m.
Well, depends on time of year there, I mean.
Yeah, that's true enough, isn't it? Yeah. So go for this time of year then. Yeah. Let's drag this analogy out.
I'm where you are in the from the equator. There's lots of factors here.
There's too many factors.
Yeah, nothing
really, isn't it, to continue on that one.
But yeah, I think it'll probably be another year before they fully commit to this. Football.
Do you think Flacco is done? Do you think it was a lack of talent around him that was prohibiting him?
What's prohibiting most is his back.
Yeah.
His injury issue. He can't. I think it's affected.
Well, the fact he's not always on it.
That's the soundbite for next week.
There you go.
Shiv will hate you. I just think, I think injury-wise, he's played through it. Really has played through it. He came back very quickly from that damaged disc in his back, was it? A couple of years ago. I just think he's injury-wise, he's struggled. He's never been the greatest quarterback. He's been good enough, and he gets hot.
Yeah.
And when he's hot, he's very hot. And he's got the arm, obviously.
Sure. Yeah. That's kind of it, really, isn't it?
If he leaves Baltimore, he's definitely going to get a gig somewhere.
Yeah,
with
sure.
Cincinnati.
There you go, interesting. Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers, Si, take it away.
Another big question here. This roster is pretty set, so not really much question about this. Let's focus on the drama.
Go on then.
It's only Lev Bell in it. All seems to have gone quiet on the Lev Bell front. The franchise tagged him again, so he's looking for a long-term deal that'll pay him $17 million a year. That's what he wants. That's the same as Antonio Brown. Yeah. His current tag means he gets paid $14.5 million a year, but that's okay for the Steelers because it's just 1 year, if you know what I mean. That's already $6 million more than the next highest paid running back, Devonta Freeman. So that's already quite significant. And remarkably, it's behind only 6 wide receivers in the league as well in terms of payment. So there's only like Antonio Brown,
Yeah.
Mike Evans, Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, he got paid big by the Chiefs. Jarvis Landry and AJ Green. They're the only receivers who get paid more than Bell does as running back. We know that the money for running backs is less.
Yep.
Is he worth elite wide receiver money? Will the Steelers ever give it him? Will anybody ever give it him? And how much of a drop off will this offense suffer if Bell leaves now?
Well,
Your last one would be a huge drop off, I thought.
yeah.
The amount of yards and carries it takes.
Yeah, I think first off that, yeah, definitely. I'm struggling to think of if Bell isn't going to be the one who gets it, if he isn't going to be the running back that breaks that ceiling or whatever and is earning, what wide receivers are earning, I'm struggling to think of a running back who ever will.
No, I don't think they will.
Because there's a guy who can do absolutely everything, and if you're not going to pay that guy like you would an elite wide receiver, then you might as well just say, well, running back, there is a cap on what you guys can earn because we will never value you like we value the wide receivers. If you're not going to pay Lev Bell, I don't know who you're going to pay.
Sure enough. Well, I think he should be fighting for it because it's a very short career at running back, isn't it, for most?
Yeah, I think players are kind of compelled to fight for any player for as much money as possible in a league where average career length is 4 years long. He's skipping OTAs as we speak. He'll probably skip the start of training camp. So just to emphasise the point, but he'll definitely play. He can't afford not to play because if you don't play, your value drops significantly. I've got a feeling that this is probably the last season for Bell in Pittsburgh. They obviously don't want to pay him what he wants, and they can't afford to franchise tag him again because they'll be getting the 17 million that he wants. But he wants obviously a longer contract with a bit of security about it.
Who else would pay it? I wouldn't say Dallas, but they've obviously got a running back. So
Yeah, true.
they're definitely the sort of team who would.
Some will pay him bigger than maybe the Steelers will. I don't know. If he goes to free agency, I don't think he'll hit that 17 million either. Though. I just don't think people are willing to pay that amount of money for a running back where you can pick one up in the draft in the 6th round and he'll do the business for you.
How old is he now?
26, I think he is, and if he leaves, there will be a significant drop off. It's not like when he was injured or suspended back in the day, and they had
what was his name? D'Angelo
Williams from the Panthers. They've got James Connors, who's not as dynamic as Williams, and obviously they've got everything around them as well, the offensive line, the passing game, stuff like that to get them by. There'll still be a great offense without Le'Veon Bell. They've proved that they can still play the game without him anyway.
Well, there's a chance, is there not, to also say you could be talking about Bell and Ben, so two of the killer bees signed that's actually
The one's already gone.
BRB. But yeah, two of them may not be in time last next year. Brian's gone, but that was the 4 Bs there, wasn't it?
I thought it was 5 altogether.
Well, because there was the kicker as well, wasn't there? Was the 5th one. Boswell, Brian. So yeah, anyway, how many bees?
Dupree as well on the bench.
Yeah. How many bees there are swarming around Pittsburgh? Certainly, there's a chance that if Bell's gone, there's a chance that Big Ben could be gone as well next year. Although the drafting in of Mason Rudolph seems to have sparked his competitive fires.
Oh yeah, every year since it's been, I might retire. Now he's got significant competition. I'm not retiring for 5 years.
We'll see how true that is.
is.
But yeah, would you say the odds are looking more in favour of Bell not being there next season?
I would definitely say that. Yeah, I would definitely say that's the way.
I think we ought to argue that actually. Fine, in fairness. There we go. Okay, where are we going next? We're going to the AFC East, Sam's favourite division, and he's going to open with the New York Jets, aren't you, Sam?
Jets.
Yeah, a bit worried that all these questions were on light of the draft and.
Oh really?
Just becomes.
You're actually doing it,
just becomes quarterback questions.
Yeah.
I was a bit worried about that too.
The position that he knows, basically.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's. They're putting a lot on him. I know they've got Teddy, obviously.
Yeah.
But
Josh.
Yeah.
For another year. Because the Jets last season, they were not the Zip 16. Most rightly thinking people thought they were going to.
I.e. you.
Yeah. And pulled out, you wouldn't call it a sneaky good season, but they had a little.
5 games.
They had a little run, didn't they?
It's not enough.
In fairness, until Josh McCown went down, they were looking pretty decent.
Yeah, they were in games to force them to trade up to get the guy, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then they weren't the disaster, the basket case they were looking. So they got Sam Darnold as this possible franchise quarterback. A lot of people's number 1 pick for the draft. Is he in straight away? Is he going to carry? Has he got enough around him in that team to have an impact season straight away, or are they going to be looking at another 5-11 season or whatever.
So you think, the question is, does he start straight away?
Is there enough of a step up now? Are they going to be flatlining?
I think of all of the quarterbacks, the other big four quarterbacks drafted, I think he's the one who's probably least likely to make the field of the four this upcoming season.
Interesting.
I think if McCown plays as he did, and who knows what is there with Teddy Bridgewater.
Apparently he's been really good in those.
Yeah, and I'm obviously Darnold's the guy for the future. Don't forget he is young, isn't he? He's 21.
Yeah, he's very young.
So very young, so he could afford to sit potentially a couple of seasons, unless we're now at a stage in the NFL where the call for these first round guys is so huge that you don't sit for much longer anymore. I don't, and that's where you guys may have
also got the question of
than me.
Two guys in front of him in seniority at least.
Yeah.
Is one's very senior.
Yes. Yeah.
And one's very injury prone.
I honestly think Sam Darnold might play the most games out of all quarterbacks this year.
Oh really?
Okay. I think Buffalo might just drop Josh Allen straight in there. But Josh Rosen, I think,
we'll hold this one for later.
Yeah, Josh Rosen obviously got behind Sam Bradford.
But Sam Bradford can go down at any minute, as we know. Josh Allen, as you say,
if you look at the quality of the guys they're competing against, I'd say Sam Bradford's the best one. Then maybe Tyrod. Then you're looking at Josh, Teddy.
Yeah, sure.
And then you're looking at AJ McCarron.
Sure.
So
yeah, I'd agree with that.
Interesting question. I think he's definitely the franchise quarterback, and I think the Jets play will be better. Don't matter when it starts, but I think it will be better. Yeah.
Probably not this year again. I think they're still looking at 5-6 wins.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make 8 wins now.
No. But you definitely think Darnold's in before the end of this season?
Oh, definitely.
You think definitely?
Yeah, without doubt, I'd say.
And if Josh McCown starts, plays as well as they did, and kind of, or do you think it has to be really good?
If Josh McCown has got, if he gets a playoff, so they're say like they get to week 16, 17, and they've still got a chance at playoffs. Then obviously I don't think they throw Sam Darnold in, but I think it's the minute they cannot make it, then they start looking at
going in there.
Yeah, and those two others are.
Oh yeah, there's
fragile.
There's a very good chance they won't. Yeah, I'm just sort of playing devil's advocate and seeing.
Even if they don't want to play, if they don't want to play Sam Darnold this year, they might have to.
No. I think Bridgewater's the mystery in that one. I really do. I just he looked a guy who was on his way to being a sort of a guy you would say actually he is our franchise quarterback in Minnesota.
Kind of, yeah.
He was getting towards, for me, he had a couple of seasons, hadn't he? And he had improved season upon season. They
remind me a bit like Smith in San Francisco's, like a bit of a slow start, but not like awful. Kind of just ascending towards what you call a quarterback you can rely on.
Yeah. Well, we should have seen your questions before that, Sam, because my questions for the Bills is also dead simple, and it is quarterback related. Is it Allen or McCarron starting day one?
That's a hard question, to be honest, because McCarron, like we just mentioned, is probably the worst out of the holdover quarterbacks that these guys went out and got.
But we don't really know what he is, do we?
No, we don't. Really he had 3 good games for the Bengals. He did alright in the playoff game as well. It was Jeremy Hill who threw that one away.
Yes, true.
And that's against the Steelers, one of the best teams in the NFL. So I don't mind McCarron. I just think he is limited arm strength wise and things like that. Where they're polar opposites of quarterbacks. Right. They really are. Yeah. Josh Allen can throw the ball, as you mentioned, 70+ yards in the snow, which obviously is
what you need to sound in Buffalo, isn't it?
It helps.
What do you think, Sam? You starts day one.
You a Josh Allen fan, Sam, or not?
No, because I don't think it matters.
No.
I said they're both not going to be good enough.
Right.
But which probably means that I don't know who's going to start first game.
I'll go McCarron.
I think they'll probably go with the senior one there as well. But I think you might just get it in rotation as each one starts. Who's third on the depth chart? He'll probably get a game.
Buys you a little bit more time. If you're not too sure about
Peterman won it from last season, him with 5 interceptions.
Week 14 we seen it.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Bills fans, cheery stuff from our Sam there.
Well, the good news is, in the next draft, you'll get a chance to get a proper quarterback.
Okay. Good to know. Anything else there, Si, on the Bills?
I just think if the Bills kind of like coaching staff, you know you've got to. I mean, you made playoffs last year, and I think it's going to be very difficult to make it this year. So you might look like as a short-term down to get better, especially with the roster they've got and how they deconstructed it. They've still got to build the rest of that roster yet. If you go with the experience like McCarron and it doesn't work out, they've bought themselves 4 or 5 games there, haven't they?
Sure.
Then they might go with Peterman before, because there's no guarantee that Allen jumps Peterman in the queue. They quite like Peterman. So mainly go for payment for a couple of games. All of a sudden you're at halfway, then you throw Allen in, and things start looking up, and everyone's like, oh yeah, well yeah, it was just a transition season. Whereas if you throw Allen in from the start and you go 2-14,
Yeah.
you bang on you've got a target on your back for next season.
And let's be honest, we're expecting the Bills, with all those losses on the offensive line as well, we're expecting the quarterback there to have a bit of a tough old season. So yeah,
That's
maybe
exactly right, mate, yeah.
protecting that potential franchise option. Going down to Miami. Well,
Do you know what I mean?
I'm not looking at it, I'm just seeing you, Sam, as the kind of guy who would go down to Miami.
It was a good question about quarterbacks here as well, considering Tannehill's return, but passed on it. I think we've been pretty harsh on Miami, haven't we? Really.
I don't think Miami Dolphins fans would be the biggest fans of this podcast.
No, just in terms of identity.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what is it that Adam Gase and co are trying to do over there?
Yeah.
Lots of big names left. Sue, Landry, Ajayi. Obviously trying to make like a better locker room atmosphere, aren't they? And culture over there. And like Jay Cutler was a disaster, no doubt about it. But I think they were just biding their time. Let's get Tannehill back, because Tannehill, you can expect an improvement in the offense just simply by him going back along. But the fact that he won 10 games under Gase, and that was they went 10-6, and I think Tannehill went down the final game of the season.
It was the final few, I think, wasn't it? Because Matt Moore came in
and they still made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So obviously there's a lot to be hopeful for there. I mean, swinging from 10-6 to 6-10, you got to be concerned. But this team's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did the draft class filling up for those holes to have them pushing for playoffs again?
If it did nothing else, it at least made them potentially a bit less meh on the defense.
Yeah,
because
they've
they've got
competitive, haven't they?
Sam's star player.
Minka Fitzpatrick, Jerome Baker, both on that other side. Then they got the tight end Mike Gesicki, which, you know, they completely revamped that wide receiver corps. So there's no star names, but I'm giving someone like Tannehill a security blanket.
And the thing is, they never really got the tight end position going on the Gase, have they, in Miami? And it's funny because
it's been a long time since they have.
In fairness, they have, but in Denver, you know, Julius Thomas was playing at Pro Bowl level at tight end under Gase.
Well, he wasn't at Jacksonville. He wasn't. And he played at
Pro
Bowl level when Peyton Manning was still throwing the ball reasonably well.
Peyton Manning, you know, but Gase hasn't been able to translate that sort of scheme really, has he?
No, it must be frustrating for Gase to some extent, because he's supposed to be this offensive mastermind, and he's had to go a season without a quarterback that I think he's intrigued by and really thinks he can get more out of. You know, I don't think he'd be 6-10 Tannehill play last year. I really don't think.
Okay.
But they do have to get rid of some people out of that locker room. I won't say they were like bad apples or anything like that, but I think they just needed to make it Gase's team rather than these kind of like mercenary veterans team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Who's calling the shots round here? I think they're going to be better. Whether maybe one game less, maybe 9-7. This is like the state of the Bills are down here.
Yeah.
Jets are still
not sure.
I think what else we got going forward, because like I said before about Fitzpatrick, I think it's Lattimore type players.
Yeah.
Don't the Dolphins always beat the Patriots?
They always beat the Patriots in Miami, don't they? So they got that going for them. Minka Fitzpatrick, Sam, you want to talk just about how much you think?
Yeah, I don't think he's like Lattimore did for New Orleans last year.
Transformative.
Yeah, really transformative for that secondary. So in terms of holes he plugged in the draft, that's...
It's a sneaky good secondary as well. Then they've got Tankersley, they've got TJ McDonald was suspended for 8 games last year. So,
yeah.
And they've got who's the other wide receiver on this side? Cornerback rather. They've got Xavier Howard.
Xavier Howard, he was looking handy last year.
There you go. That's not bad. All of a sudden, takes a little secondary there.
It could be. Yeah.
Robert Quinn on the offensive line. Interesting.
What winning game have they got?
Alonso.
Chico, yeah.
What's more about that offensive winning game is...
Kenyon Drake, there's not been any drop off from the Giants.
And Frank Gore's gone in there to get some hard yards, hasn't he? And you smile, you smirk.
Put his nose where it needs to be.
The inconvenient truth.
I think the offensive bit probably still was shaky.
But how many wins then?
8.
Yeah.
Straight down the middle.
I think they get a winning record this year, just by the virtue of the fact that they've got a slightly easy division.
It's a concern how different they've looked every year, every off-season going into the next year.
I've still got faith in the Gates though.
Yeah. Fair. Do you still have faith, Sam, in what Bill Belichick is doing in New England? In Boston, as you take it to calling
Boston, the Patriots.
Give us the Patriots. What are they scratching their heads over?
Well, my question here is, who's in charge?
Trump's in charge. Next.
You got Brady skipping the OTAs at the moment, taking funny about it in Monaco, chucking footballs from yacht to yacht, apparently. And whilst he's doing this, and he's seeing his personal physician, can't say that word, his doctor.
Physician.
Is he stopping Belichick from building a new Brady-less Patriots? Which is what he's got to do. I remember I was started last season. I was only partially tongue-in-cheek when we were saying he's going to be fucked at Thanksgiving. And I said Patriots will be fucked at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you did famously.
They've climbed the mountain now. They've got the 5 things, all goats apparently. Everyone who's ever been associated with the Patriots.
Like a farm, isn't it?
So then you've got that team's that trio of Belichick, Kraft, and Brady. Not Kraft so much really, but Belichick and Brady, who obviously have reached the end of their sort of natural life, and they've done. They've got as teams.
Everyone's got different priorities now.
You've got to recycle, and Brady's recycling should just be going to Hollywood or whatever, just kicking back into retirement.
Yeah.
But he seems determined to have another few years at it.
Well, the problem.
Belichick's one is he wants to build a new team.
He wants to prove he can do it without Brady.
That's what the obvious comparison that I always get with the Patriots is Man United under Fergie.
Yeah.
And Fergie, in his time, 25 years, was almost unparalleled in building new teams.
Yeah.
Built a treble team. They had a couple of years down, but built almost a whole new team. When players were like in the way, he just booted them out. Beckham was famously.
Stamp.
Just get rid of them.
Get rid of them, Keane.
Keep it his team and keep it a team that's on the rise. And the question is Brady now, and just sort of stop Belichick doing that because he obviously wants to.
But you could argue that of all of those, the only one that that Fergie regretted was Stan, because Stan was still playing at the very highest level. Perhaps the others, like Roy Keane, were on the decline, on the way down, and he moved on.
Perhaps Brady.
But was the evidence there last season that he was?
Brady is still playing at an elite level, and this is the problem. Like they found Jimmy Garoppolo to a lesser extent, Jacoby Brissett. Probably 5 years too early. If they'd have found them, say, starting this season, in 2 or 3 years' time, when Brady's definitely done, they'd be ready. They'd be ready to go in with no issues whatsoever. So now you've got Brady moaning about that basically his succession plan's in place, and he's knocking on the door. And Brady feels like he's instead of just concentrating on being the best he can be and winning against the Patriots, you've got to worry about when Belichick wants to move on for the future when he's not quite done yet, and he's gone obviously crying off to Kraft, crying to him, and Kraft's going, well, why would this ridiculous even suggest moving on from
Perhaps Brady can go to another team and prove he can do it without Belichick.
So now Belichick's had to switch tacks and he's gone different ways, but there is certainly issues there, that most notably about the dietitians and things like that, and both Gronk and Brady have this guy who helps with the fitness and the diet and things like that, and Belichick doesn't like it.
He doesn't like it, so does he?
Doesn't like it at all. I think just because he likes to be the man who determines everything. I think to some extent he is kind of draconian.
He's
in
got
that
a
way.
god complex, hasn't he?
Well, not only that, it's a bit like Fergie, like you say, in that he knows that if he controls everything, he can keep everybody humble in check. Nobody's bigger than the team. And I do believe he wanted to move on from Brady at some point. He did it from Drew Bledsoe quite early in his reign as a Patriot. And obviously he has been overruled here.
But if he, and I think that's what it was. Do you think Belichick was going, no way, we are not trading Garoppolo. I would rather trade away Brady than trade away Garoppolo.
I don't know if he said that, but he definitely would not. He definitely did not want to trade away Garoppolo. Otherwise, we would have done it for the 3 first-round picks that the Browns were offering 6 months prior to your boys stealing him for a second-round pick.
It'd be interesting to see if Garoppolo goes off to a flyer in the season, and
he will.
Patriots start slowly, which they always do. Well, not always, but then for some reason they do start a little bit slowly.
They do. They have been known to.
So that's ramps a bit more pressure up again, doesn't it? So.
The issue is that Kraft can't sack Belichick.
No.
He wins too much.
No.
So this is this only finishes when Brady finishes.
And we think Belichick is absolutely determined to build another successful team after Brady, or do you think when Brady goes, Belichick goes?
I think Belichick still enjoys it, and I think
he's got a point to prove.
He wants to. This way, I know Brady might just, if he had a bit more character about him, would just step aside. I'm going to play for a different team now, and show I can do it. In Cleveland, say. Essentially, see if you really are the GOAT. And Belichick will. He's always going to say, oh, well, you won 5 Super Bowls, but you were with the GOAT, so of course you won 5 Super Bowls. And he'd be like, well, no, I built that team.
I would agree, but my only question is why What was Josh McDaniels then offered to make him do that dramatic U-turn from the head coaching gig in Indy? Because you would think that the offer was, listen, Bill's not going to be around for much longer. Stick with us, you'll get the head coaching gig.
He's definitely.
But if we're saying
definitely
Belichick wants to build another team, that's going to be another 5+ years.
Is the craft to say that behind Belichick's back?
Who knows what's going on in Boston?
I just think Daniels is quite comfortable where he is, and if he's guaranteed the Patriots job, which I think he is, once Belichick goes, he won't mind waiting 5 years.
Interesting.
He's still very young, isn't he?
True.
And he's turned down jobs before.
True enough. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, AFC West. Here we go. Si, I'm coming at you with your LA Chargers.
Whoop, whoop.
And I want to know this. After the Jags, have the Chargers got the best defense in the AFC?
No, we've got the best defense in the AFC. Full stop.
Oh, nice. Okay,
Well,
now
pick it
this is
apart.
good.
Pick it apart.
What a softball question that is. Goodness me, that's like...
Team me up.
Go on. Well, what's your answer to this softball question then, soft lad?
Well, I don't know how quality of the defence on any of the rosters. Yeah, the fourth best.
The fourth best, right? Okay, yeah.
He's better than them.
He's done all his analysis on his notes. He's not got
The Jags are better.
All right, and anybody else?
Ravens,
AFC,
maybe.
sorry, yeah, Ravens
Maybe.
Don't give him that.
I was going to say, if I could just name some NFC teams there.
We have the best pass rushing duo in the NFL.
Yeah.
We've got stronger inside. With linebackers, obviously injury prone, just like everything is in the Chargers. I think the one thing that keeps Chargers from being the best defense is the fact that they can't still keep on the field.
Yeah, seems to be.
But that secondary is now absolutely loaded. We've got the best quarterback in the league by any PFF stat you can go by. And Casey Hayward, Jason Verrett's coming back.
Yeah.
Obviously, Derwin James comes into the mix now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, it's very difficult to find somewhere where the Chargers aren't good on defense. And the best thing about it is that their defense won't get tired because the offense is pretty damn good as well. So
Yeah.
they've got it. Whereas the Jaguar defense may see a bit more of the field. That's what I'm hoping.
Interesting.
I don't know,
Like
think how many picks Phil Rivers gives away. Like on the field more than you think.
Is the pressure's now on Rivers? Is it to go right? I'm now going to carry this team to the division
Well,
title.
just to finally do something with his career. Been long enough, hasn't it?
I think Philly Rivers is not a bottler. I think he's just been a poor victim of circumstance more than anything else.
Yeah.
I look at me in the smirk.
What, the circumstance of being drafted by San Diego?
Yeah, pretty much. He wasn't drafted.
Well, wasn't drafted by San Diego famously.
But I think that's exactly what it is. I mean, like he's been in a team that has been good, then has been bad, and now he's a team that's been pretty goddamn unlucky. I mean, like obviously he does throw sometimes interceptions. It's not like he's crippling
He's a
like some
gunslinger,
quarterbacks.
isn't he? Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a bit more Brett Favre, but
Yeah.
Brett Favre had one ring, could have had two.
Could have happened.
Whereas Rivers is coming to the end of his career. It's time is now for Philip Rivers, and
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be found wanting. It'll be something else that stops the Chargers from winning. Like it always is.
As it often is. An injury to Hunter Henry, perhaps. Who knows? Oh, where are we going next?
You're daring to dream though, so.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Yeah. Do you see yourselves as famous?
You guys must be on the Chargers bandwagon this year.
Yeah, I'd have to say.
I would need to have a proper look at it. Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, you just listen to you and you're getting carried away with it. They're the greatest.
It depends how many. For me, it depends how many games they go into. If they're within like 3 or less points adrift in the last minute, because that means a kicker going on there and having to
Sorry
win the game
about that.
for them.
Sorted
And
that out, mate.
doesn't end too well. Who have we got now as the kicker?
Oh no, we saw
There
it.
we go.
We'll find that one out quick, folks.
That's still the highlight of the season, isn't it?
The Kansas City Chiefs,
That's me.
who once ruled the West,
Yeah,
on the
once.
threats.
Once.
Sorry, rather.
Well, let's get back to the quarterbacks really, because Chiefs roster's been tinkered with, but in general, the parts leaving have been replaced really. And like, you got Dave Johnson's gone to the Raiders, but they replaced him with Anthony Hitchens from the Cowboys, and then like obviously Marcus Peters went to the Rams, but they replaced him with Kendall Fuller when they traded Alex Smith over to the Redskins. So there's only one real question mark, and that's Pat Mahomes. Can he not only come in and do as good a job as Alex Smith, but can he help Kansas City get over the playoff hump? That's it, innit?
That's the question.
Paddy Mahomes, who's I call him.
Paddy Mahomes.
Just sounds better, doesn't it? So,
What
Irish
did
chain pub.
you make of him in college, Sam?
I didn't really watch him, to be fair.
Okay.
I wasn't tracking it closely enough there.
He played for Texas Tech, so Sam had no interest.
No interest in watching it. I mean, what he
But he I think that Edward says about him, he's just got just a cannon, hasn't he?
cannon of an arm,
Yeah.
and they've done their very
he's-
best to help him with bringing Sammy Watkins to go with an already elite downfield threat with Tyreek Hill.
Got the running game.
We got the running game. We like what we saw in that one game against Denver's pretty good defense at the end of last season. Okay, it was a week 17 match, but looked pretty good in that.
Yeah, but sorry, was he smart enough in the pocket? And cool enough in the pocket?
It's hard to say
It's
because
just Andy Reid,
we've not really. Yeah, Andy Reid put him, give him the best opportunity to win, but I do believe that Alex Smith was underappreciated. If we're comparing to Alex Smith, it's a drop off immediately, but then maybe Mahomes has got the bigger upside. I mean, Mahomes has also got a battle against the fact that they've lost Matt Nagy. He was basically the new Kyle Shanahan in terms of, and Sean McVay in terms of like this offensive guy who can create a situation. Obviously maximise Alex Smith, which other people have not necessarily done since maybe Jim Harbaugh. And yeah, I just think it's a hard ask. I think eventually it could be great. Right now, there's going to be a drop off, and not. I Chargers were looking at that and thinking, with their defence and looking, man, well, we've got their number now.
I feel for Alex Smith too, but if you're the Chiefs and you're in that, as we always like to say, Sam, that win now mode. You're looking at those last two playoff games. 2017 against the Titans, 2016 was at the Steelers at home. Had a great season, the Chiefs both times, and really Smith didn't get it done in those playoff games.
And also the playoff game against the one game he did have get it done was against the Colts.
The Colts, wasn't it? Yeah.
They absolutely. But they still lost. They still lost. But they absolutely tore him to pieces. So I don't know. I think Smith's fine. I think he's absolutely fine.
I agree. I just think that performances in the playoffs are what's costing.
I think that ultimately it's a risk for the Chiefs because Mahomes got a much higher upside. He could be great, like great. But obviously you're gonna have to get through those teething issues.
Sorry, I'm just enjoying Sam's T-shirt there. It says it's great. It's a parody of Royal Mail, isn't it? It just says
it's a parody of the. It's the only acceptable keep calm and carry on T-shirt that you'll find.
And it says buy more shit or we're all fucked.
What is that? Modern Toss.
Modern Toss.
Britain's finest institutions.
And speaking of fine institutions creating T-shirts left, right and centre, we should probably mention our sponsors.
Speaking of Modern Toss,
our sponsors, of course, Royal Flush Designs, custom-made T-shirts, hoodies, all going on. The lads, they were all in Kiev at the weekend.
Enjoying themselves.
They did. It's had a great time. Yeah, I had an even better time at the end of the game.
Well, a privilege for them. I'd take the Reds fan, Liverpool fans.
Done all Reds.
Privilege for them to get over there and see one of the great goals of all time. Sure. So there'll be a lot of Scousers.
We all enjoyed
the biggest stage.
We all enjoyed that.
So there'll be a lot of Scousers really look back in years ago and really appreciate that.
Yeah.
All the effort and money to get over to Kiev to watch that. It must feel.
It was a beautiful moment. And they were all there with their Royal Flush T-shirts looking grand. And you folks, of course, being a Collapsing Pocket listener, you can get yourself one of these T-shirts or whatever you want from Royal Flush with a 10% discount using the discount code Pocket10. What is it, Sam? It's the
letters in pocket and numbers in 10.
That's the one, folks. Get on the Royal Flush.
Remember.
Fantastic. Sam, Denver Broncos, John's team.
Yeah, when you were praising my research earlier, I don't know great deal.
Okay.
Is Case Keenum good now? Is that the vibe?
Is that the question?
Yeah.
The question. No.
That's what I thought.
It might be.
Because they don't have a depth quarterback now, do they? They've got lots of other stuff, and they've still got Chubb up in the draft along with Von Miller and secondary. It's not the no-fly zone it was, but it's still pretty strong, isn't it?
They've got Paxton Lynch backing up Case Keenum. And anybody else come in?
Yes, and I can't remember. Our boy Brock's not still there, is he?
No, it's Miami.
He's still got a gig.
Yeah, when Tannehill gets injured, he'll be back in our lives again, just like he always is.
Fantastic. I have a feeling that they did.
Broncos should be looking at Johnny Football, in any sense.
But, well, I mean, what do we know? We know that Elway clearly prefers Keenan to Rosen and to Allen.
Yeah, because he would have gone for him, wouldn't he?
And to Lamar Jackson. Yeah. So, I mean, is this whether you take last season as a fluke? He's played well before, hasn't he, Si? He's played well. Was it in Houston? Not Houston.
No, he did alright in Houston. He kind of like no, not really. Just a backup kind of reasonable backup level. And obviously, people could see the ability that he does have that he showed in Minnesota, and that's why he got the gig in LA. Couldn't do it. Obviously, it's probably more speaking of the coaching staff he was working with there than it was anything else. I just wonder whether or not Vance Joseph and Broncos coaching staff can maximise Keenum in the way that the Vikings did.
Yeah.
Because I think that is Keenum's zenith. I think that's as good as you're going to get from Case Keenum. And the question is how consistently can you get it? And I don't think they can.
When I was really asked him, he was absolutely
He
nowhere.
was found wanting. Do we suspect that we witnessed the highest, the greatest moment of his career?
Yeah. We're not going to dwell on it. Yeah. Well done. There's a lovely throw. But no, it's 16 games basically last year, something like that. And then he just reverted back to what he'd always been. And so it seems a lot like Denver are very reliant on him having being those 16 games rather than how many other games in the rest of his career, which seems unusually risky for him. Because they've got a fairly decent roster outside of.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is the rest of that roster still capable of a Super Bowl run?
I wonder about the running game now that C.J. Anderson's gone, but and the offensive line's not great, but they tried to plug. I think
They tried to improve
John
a
Elway
bit last season.
kind of plays GM like we play Football Manager. He finds holes and tries to whack them in. There's no real long-term thought with it. You know what I mean? Especially a quarterback. You know, he's kind of missed more than he's hit. I mean, he got lucky with Peyton Manning coming over in free agency, but outside of that, not really done anything at quarterback, has he?
No.
So it doesn't seem like there's any. He's got like great scouting ability to set the pieces for the future. He likes to meddle around in free agencies. The team's always high up the cap, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
people
totally.
are proven rather than
And
all that means is you've got a short window rather than long-term future. So that's the way I see it with Denver. He's either going to have to keep regenerating year on year. Because I don't think to some extent John Elway's almost unsackable as GM.
Yeah, I mean, the great money does that, isn't it, in Denver? Yeah. Wow. Imagine having that power, Sam.
I'm sacking people every other week. Second novelty would ever wear.
We're going to round up the AFC West in the black hole and the Oakland Raiders. Now, I'm a bit wary of upsetting the Raider Nation because, as we know, Simon has already gone at them, and they bit back, didn't they? What did they famously say to you, Si?
I was told to go eat some crumpets.
Told me to do want to go and eat some crumpets because he. What was it you'd said about the
I
Raiders?
just didn't like the draft class in the first 2 rounds.
I'd be delighted with that instruction.
Well,
Cheese on?
what do you want your crumpets?
No, just play.
Pate.
I like. Oh, that's absolute snob.
Dirty. Pate on crumpets.
Cheese with chili flakes. That's what I like.
Cheese with chili flakes.
Yeah, I'm not against any of the ideas, but I just have
Pate on crumpets. I fancy.
I never buy either, but if I'm home with my mum, she usually has both.
I'm off to Sainsbury's after this.
There you go, get yourself down there, get on that. But at the risk
lovely
of being,
day for hot.
looking for a hot crumpet. At the risk of being told to sod off and eat some crumpets, we're not too impressed with what the Raiders have been up to, are we? In free agency and in the draft. So the question is quite simply this: with this mega multi-$100 million contract over 10 years, how long is it until they can sack John Gruden? If it all goes as disastrously wrong as a fear it might.
This is the last year in Oakland. Or have we got another one after this?
They've got. I think it might be 1 or 2. They've got an option, I think.
Right. Because they're going to have to take him to Vegas, aren't they?
Well, that's surely why
right.
they've got it for Vegas, isn't it? Yeah.
He's going to do 3 years minimum. It wouldn't surprise. I don't think Mark Davis would really worry too much about having to pay, say, $60 million to someone who's not there. I think if they were awful, I think you'd get rid of him. But Raiders are interesting in terms of like ideology. Reggie McKenzie's GM there, and he's always had the keys to that roster. And I'm not a big fan of how Reggie builds rosters. He did alright during Derek Carr time, him and Amari Cooper and things like that.
Is he a disciple of the Al Davis kind of school?
No, I don't know where Reggie came from. Reggie came from Green Bay, so but I think he did have ties to the Raiders before that. But the way he drafts is he kind of, I think we discussed this on previous podcasts. He kind of like looks right. I like this guy. Where can we pick him? And if there's no one convenient, we'll still take him anyway. And that's kind of Al Davis. But Al Davis was pretty much about measurables, height, weight, speed. I don't think Reggie plays the board very well, if you know what I mean. I don't think he has, like people like, some sort of guy, one pick before him, they pivot out nicely, trade away, or go in a different direction in terms of filling different roster spots, something like that. And since Gruden's coming, he's kind of overruled him on a lot. You can see it, like certainly free agency signings, like these more old guard people who can do specific things that Gruden wants or thinks he wants. far be it for me to question somebody who's not coached for a decade and got a fight in the studio. But is the NFL the same as it was back in the day when Green was there, was in the Tampa Bay? That's to me. I just don't know.
Because he's very adamant that's his philosophy.
It feels weird
isn't it?
how they're working together. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I think at some point there's going to be a power struggle between them two. Then we'll see if Gruden gets paid for the full extent of his contract, or if Reggie,
if Reggie.
yeah, which
Well, but
whoever
to me,
gets
like,
the
he's
backing.
putting a team of absolute bastards together as well, isn't he? That's what it feels
Johnny
like.
Nelson's alright, isn't he?
So that's the vibe it feels like.
Well, that would be the right either way, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Grizzled, or professionals if you like, but just a bunch of bastards.
Experienced veterans.
Yeah.
Play hard, play tough.
So yeah, that
Just
pans
win,
out.
baby. AFC South.
One more
Tennessee
division.
Titans.
No, that's me. Just,
And we were saying, weren't we? No one really gets excited about the Titans.
Is this what they describe as a milk toast?
yes.
Yes, he's finally nailed it.
Well, considering the Titans won a playoff game last season, they take up very little relevance in my NFL thoughts, really.
Scored touchdown of the decade, of the century.
The
That was
Marios,
awesome. Yeah, that
yeah.
was awesome. The only other thing I could think of outside that touchdown was the fact they've got new uniforms. But
They do.
We all did.
Yeah.
let's take it seriously. So, you know, you've got a new head coach. You've got added some pieces in the defense in the draft, didn't they? In a three-way fight in the AFC South, because I think the Colts are on the outside looking in. Is it fair to suggest they overachieved last season? And should Tennessee fans just be happy to get back to the postseason once more, rather than expect improvement? If you're a Titans fan, can you really expect to be better than one win in the playoffs last year? I thought they far out exceeded everyone's expectations there. And
Well, in that case, should you just give up being a fan of the Titans? If there's absolutely no ambition to do
I'm
nothing
just
but
wondering what's
win a playoff
acceptable
game.
as a Tennessee Titan fan now that they did that last year. 'cause
Yeah.
anything else is going to seem like a disappointment, but really, if you look at them piece for piece, are they better than the Jaguars? Are they better than the Texans?
I don't think offensively they're better than what the Texans are. I don't think defensively they're better than what the Jags are.
What do you think when you see the Titans?
I think very little. Well, that's so ordinary. The team that you think, well, when they've got that playoff win, the only reason they got it is because of the weak division they're in, really. You put them in the NFC South, they'd be absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah.
So,
But I suppose a lot of it as well depends on where we think Marcus Mariota is up to in his development. I still like Mariota.
I do, and
He did
there's
score
other
the touchdown of the decade, Sam, but
There are other pieces I like as well. I mean, I do like Mike Vrabel, and that defense is looking much better now because John Robinson's a good GM in terms of, again, acquiring their specific pieces for specific spots in it.
I like Dion
Offensive
Lewis
line's
and Malcolm
good.
Butler. I think
Great,
are great.
yeah,
pickups.
great, yeah, absolutely fantastic. But
There's no reason
does
why
that-
not Derrick Henry, you know.
does that? Yeah, that's it. They've moved on from DeMarco Murray. This is interesting to me. I just don't see how they get better than they were last year in terms of results.
And I think the AFC South has, don't forget we've got Deshaun Watson the same as he
That's
used
what
to.
I
We
mean,
saw what he could do. The Jags are different now. If Andrew Luck comes back for the Colts, who knows? Maybe it isn't the pony division that it once was. And the Titans, although they, ostensibly have gotten better through free agency and whatnot, are they actually slipping further down the pecking order in that division if Deshaun Watson brings to the Texans what we think he can?
The thing is, there's no shame in being 8-8, 9-7 in a tough division like that. If he gets you to the playoffs, then you go and beat the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Then maybe you're just in a tough division, not a tough division, but a close division, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for divisions to become swings and roundabouts. Look at the NFC West now; it's probably not as tough as it used to be.
Sure.
But yeah, to me, it's quite confusing how you feel if you're a Titans fan. What you can expect and what you can hope for this season.
if you can expect a playoff game, then I think once you can expect to be in the playoffs, you can expect to be or you can hope to be in the Super Bowl because it's just 3 games.
Any given Sunday.
So and
Thursday night.
And the more often you're in that position, as long as you're not changing the roster wholesale every time, you're going to get that experience, big game experience. You're going to get learned how to.
I'm looking forward to
win those
watching this
games.
year. That's what. I'm looking forward to watching him. I just can't quite peg him.
Yeah, fair. How would you peg the Indianapolis Colts, Sam?
Well, question. It's not really quite but can they get look on the pitch? If they can get them on the pitch, can they keep them upright? And their lacklustre defence does all this effort around look and doesn't really matter.
Right. Okay. So just forget the first question then. Yeah.
Yeah, because they picked up Notre Dame's finest
Well, of course they did.
guard against a decent line. Andrew Luck should be.
And they've got a fairly, I think, acceptable backup in Jacoby Brissett.
But they've not really addressed the defensive issues.
No, they haven't.
I smell a lot of picks in the draft, but a lot of them are projects, you know.
Yeah.
And I think they threw a lot of numbers there, hoping that some will stick, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about wide receivers and things like that, weapons.
Outside Ty.
Yeah, well, even Ty are down here when Luck's not in there. You know, like Moncrief's gone.
They've not got a running back out, so Marlon Mack is still the.
I think you're going to see a lot of two tight end sets in Eric Ebron and Jack
Well,
Doyle.
that's potentially their most potent offense.
But a lot of the focus seems to be has been on Luck, and then getting back in. And,
as you'd expect.
Getting back in and protected.
Yeah. It's everything, isn't it, to them?
Well, it is. It's, you think the press will be like that. You think the fans will be like that. But for the management should be thinking, actually, there's a lot more to the game than just throwing the ball.
That I think is what's quite unique about the Colts, is that they are a trash roster pretty much, barring this one exceptional quarterback talent who, if playing at his absolute best, is arguably the best quarterback in the league.
Trash is a harsh word. I mean,
it's
a
poor.
Subpar. It has been like that since the days of Peyton Manning.
Yeah, well, as soon as he went from one of the best teams to one of the worst teams overnight, didn't he?
Yeah.
I just think it's. I almost don't think about the Colts until Luck is back, and then we'll see where we're at.
Seems like a fair point to move on to the Houston Texans.
Interesting.
Here we go. It's interesting to see because they traded away their early round draft picks for Brock Osweiler?
No, for Deshaun Watson.
For Deshaun Watson, sorry, yeah.
I was going to say.
I was trying to think who it was.
Bill O'Brien survived that.
Yeah, I was thinking about who was it that they gave up? Oh no, it was of course. But Deshaun Watson, he's back. In terms of free agency, the signing of Tyrann Mathieu, does this keep the Texans in the AFC playoff chase?
Yeah, I think if Deshaun Watson's back, it does. I think they were already in it when he was playing. I think they had two or three holes, didn't they, on that team when they eventually got to take some picks in the draft, and they went about and meticulously took players out of those holes. Yeah. I think they're thinking they're in win now mode. You know, they've got decent wide receiver options. I think they like Lamar. What's it called?
Well, we got Lamar Miller, haven't we? But it's the guy behind him, Deontay Foreman.
Yeah, Deontay Foreman from Texas.
Well. Yeah.
I think they're happy on offense. The offensive line was an issue to pick somebody up in the draft. If Deshaun Watson's not on there, he seems to transcend that anyway. He seems to play without one, a bit like Russell Wilson has.
The cornerbacks aren't particularly strong, but do you think Matthew comes in there, and if he is the honey badger of old, can almost make up for that?
Could make a significant difference straight away, I think. Yeah. I think that would be a key piece for them, even if just leadership. That defense used to be dominant. And JJ Watt might be back, you know, you've got Clowney.
Clowney's coming back in.
We all know how such a strong front seven can protect a weak back four anyway.
Yeah,
he gets
true.
Back quick.
True, yeah.
They're definitely in the mix for me. I think Colts on the outside looking in for maybe 1 or 2 more years. I like what they did with Frank Reich and things like that. But yeah, the Texans have got every chance, just like the Titans and Jags have been in that mix.
Your boy Sam, Deshaun Watson, he's come back from a bad injury before. No concerns of doing it again.
Well, of course there is.
From you, I mean, of course. But you know what I mean.
Torn an ACL twice in 5 years or whatever it is.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying though. It went, it seemed to go fine last time. This time round, if he gets it all right, he gets back up.
If he gets a full season, it was just so exciting to watch, and it was just so dangerous as well. Like I say, if they have that front seven, all on the pitch, on the field at the same time, just immediately just those two factors, like you say, the secondary, and they're definitely a threat in that division.
Could be similar to what Sam you asked about the soft underbelly of the Giants roster last week, and whether the superstars mask that. Maybe we've got a similar situation here.
Yeah.
Matthew, Watt, Clowney, and Watson, and Hopkins, if you know what I mean. Players, can they drag the rest of the roster through? Yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, and we're gonna wrap it up, I believe, with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jaguars now on the way to London, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he's got 2 teams in London now, hasn't he, old Shah Khan? Fulham
got promoted as well.
Highlight your weekend.
Oh, great seeing John Terry.
Terry's face at the end. Apologise to the fans.
No one likes to see that, do they?
Oh no.
Oh, sorry, the Jaguars.
Go on, Si.
Well, it's just another loaded roster. The NFL is going to be pretty exciting this year in terms of teams that we all think dangerous.
Excuse me.
I know Sam might have a different question, but I just want to know if Blake Bortles is good enough to help the Jaguars take that next step, win the Super Bowl basically, and if not, have they had enough around him to help him do it? Because to me, he's the weak link, isn't he?
Yeah, Blake Bortles is. It's whether you believe the team can still run the Super Bowl and win it despite their quarterback. How many teams over the past 10 years would you say have done that?
The Ravens have done it at least once. You may say twice. That'd be harsh.
I'd be a bit harsh on Flacco.
Yeah.
To say second time round, but that Ravens was
And
2000, was it?
Yeah. And I think it's also teams that have maximised the quarterback as well, even though they're limited. So like maybe the Eagles with Foles.
Patriots.
Foles is, in fairness, Foles is a fair call.
Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously he played very well.
But he did play well.
But is that because of the team around him? He's not played well outside of that system, has he? So.
And there's not enough on that Jacksonville offense, is there, to play well around the quarterback. You know what I mean?
This is what I mean. Like, they've added. I've got Austin Seferian-Jenkins a tight end, which I quite like, because what's the better way to make your quarterback more productive by giving a tight end, which, to be fair, Bortles has not really had since he was in the thingy. But swapping the two Allen brothers out for Dante Moncrief and DJ Shark in the draft, is that the same?
Keeping faith with Marquise Lee when Robinson was there as an option.
I can understand why you can't pay Robinson the big money.
Robinson, but is Marquise Lee better than Alan Hearns? That's the question, I guess.
I didn't thought so last year, because there was rumours Hearns was going to get traded out.
D.D. Westbrook's an interesting one, isn't he? There's a lot of hype about him.
Obviously, Novel's coming, but I think that helps Fournette more, because I think they've got to rely on more on Fournette. I think he came into the league, I think he was a bit banged up before he got in, but he seemed to miss a couple of games, didn't he, when he was injured. Some games he just took off when he was fine. Other games he kind of got stymied. If they can just run on him like the Cowboys do on Zeke, then you've got kind of Blake Bortles only having been asked to do what Dak Prescott's asked to do, and in that scenario, I think they can win the Super Bowl.
There we go. Sam?
Yeah, I think they've got potential to do a little bit more.
But because when you're having to rely on other people to get past your quarterback, it's like a house of cards, isn't it? It could easily start tumbling down, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Jaguars revert back to like 7 wins or something.
And also, it's like just the errors that he made just throw away where
I don't
it
think.
doesn't matter what you got behind you. You can't
pull the
come
ball.
back from it.
I like badass Blake, but I don't think they're winning the Super Bowl with him. There you go.
Gotta get past the Chargers first, haven't they?
What a big statement that is.
Big statement that is.
Jacksonville.
Well, considering he just said he thinks they could, I'm saying they can't. There you go.
They definitely can.
Definitely can't. Not Blake Bortles. There you go.
Definitely.
You heard it here first. Means a lot, that, doesn't it?
There's 31 more teams to
Well, you go. You can tell it's getting hot. He's getting testy. Let's get on out of there.
Absolutely melted.
Big fella, he's melting. He's melting in the sun.
And it's not even that hot in this office.
The only last thing to mention, of course, would be this funny thing that was tweeted at us about old Richie Incognito attacking somebody in a gym, throwing a weight at somebody in the gym.
He's been remanded on the Baker Act, which in Florida.
The Baker Act?
Which means you can basically restrain someone for mental evaluation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because, he obviously is a lunatic. So the quicker he's out of the league, the better, I think.
Be careful with our language.
Just be careful, yeah.
He's been reinstated.
If anyone
Health Awareness Week.
A little sensitive to us.
Sorry, I don't mean that in a bad way. He's a knob. How's that? He is a knob.
He is a knob, yeah.
He's been reinstated by the Bills. He's been released and returned from the reserve retired list, so he can find other teams to go play for.
So he's not sectioned.
He's in section.
No, he's still under. It's not really section, no, but he's under mental evaluation.
Okay. Was it he's a big fella? I'm guessing it wasn't like a 4-pound dumbbell. It was probably.
I don't know, but how do you celebrate being released from the Buffalo Bills and go and find them in work by lumping a bloody weight at somebody?
I know. Unless it was like me one time, I kind of got a little bit overzealous with a kettlebell, and kind of sort of thrust it forward, and I was.
You might let go sometimes.
Well, I didn't have my gym gloves on, so it was kind of sweating, and it slipped and it twatted the mirror. No, it didn't hit anyone, thank God. But it was one of those the whole gym looks at, and you go.
We're talking about a guy.
Twatted the mirror, so you're checking your form while you were doing these kind of things.
Yeah, well, you've got to, because it's
Four faces.
Part of it,
At 3 reps, picture.
There you go. It's the pelvic thrust, as you know, Sam, that really drives them insane.
Incognito, though, we're talking about a guy who's obviously been run the bullying scandal, never been regarded as a dirty player in the league, and then obviously suggested he called Yannick Ngakoue a racist slur during the playoff game with the Bills and the Jags last year.
Yeah.
So,
piece of work.
If he's restrained for mental evaluation for the next 10 years, I would not be upset.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Go fully incognito.
Hey! And on that note, perfect way, Sam,
Genuinely melting.
to end the podcast. You're dripping onto the dictaphone. Let's get out of here, folks. This has been Sweating Sam Aykroyd.
Goodbye.
This has been Super Simon Carroll.
Cheers, guys.
And I've been Wardy, and thanks very much, folks, and we'll speak to you very soon. Ta-da!
Very good.
Very good.
You know where it is now, right, Sam?
Yeah.
Seriously, you're always looking outside again.
Has he got the right?
Smokestack spitting black soot into the sooty sky.